Hey guys, quick video about one of our central tenets in math. Math often involves reading. It has word questions. There are words inside of math, and students often forget this. And so when they get into math problems, they think that they should just sort of briefly scan by not looking at all, scan the question and, come up with some answer miraculously through magic and miracles. And they really sort of don't expect that they will have to actually do work, right? This is very, very common. So a lot of times the student literally did not read the question at all. In this particular question, question 32 here, the most common wrong answer that we get is 65. So what they do is they say, okay, I think I did a question like this before one time and I had to write down numbers, so 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, and then we're solving for the last number, divide by 5 equals 15, they solve it out, they get 65. That's obviously not the answer because on this thing it says just that they wrote a positive integer. It does not say that they wrote a different positive integer. And so the first 4 integers are all 1 because you want to make them as small as possible, obviously. And then the last number, the last integer ends up being 71. So the correct answer is 71. Same thing in the second question. Students often will not read the word product is usually the issue that we get. And so they will pick 22 because they'll say, okay, well, 10 and 12, that's going to work out. And they don't think it's going to be 0 because they're not really thinking of 0 as an even number, right? And so there's that whole issue. So this question usually takes students a little while. Now, why is this important and what do you do about it? Whenever you're working with a student in a math question, what you really want to do, okay, and you guys know that I'm very, very anti-hints. You know that in general, we're very kind of anti-hints. We're a lot about this kind of striving to build intelligence mentality. But in this case, you should never, ever, ever assume that the student has any idea what the question is actually asking. And that's probably the biggest, most important change in thinking. Right? We tend to give people the benefit of the doubt, but in this case, never ever give them the benefit of the doubt. And so usually what I will do if the student gets either of these two questions wrong at all, and plenty of other questions in the curriculum, I will say reread, just reread, that's it. No comma, reread, exclamation point. And that's all that they're going to get from me. No, 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 reread, reread, reread. Why? Because they haven't yet reread the question. Also, most of the time when you tell them to reread, they will reread it and still not read the thing that they missed. They will still look at question 32 and they will still think that it says a positive different integer because that's what they're expecting to see. And the second one, they're probably not going to see the word product. Still, they're not going to see the word product even the second time that they read it because that's not what they're expecting to see. They think that it says sum, and so they're not really actually rereading it. What you need to do then is tell them 5, 10, 200 times, if that's what it takes. Nope, reread. You're still got it wrong. Reread the question. You need to reread the question. Please reread the question. Reread, exclamation point, reread, exclamation point. You just be really, really intentional and don't give them anything else. And eventually they will get so frustrated that they will finally actually read the question. And that is the pivotal moment that we're getting at, right? That's what we really want, because when the student gets there, when the student finally actually reads the question and actually sees the error that they made by not reading it in the first place, then you can capitalize on that moment. Then you can tell them, yes, see, this is what happens when you actually read. You want to make sure that you're always actually reading. Make sure that you never make assumptions about what the question says. You have to very, very carefully read. Reading is a very important part of math and that whole kind of a thing, right? No matter how you say it, you're going to drive that point home. But these two questions, if they don't read the sentence, right, which most students do not, these two questions with absolutely no hints at all should probably take an hour at least. Each question could take an hour, if not more. And so that's really what you're aiming for. Keep that in mind. Don't feel bad if it takes an hour. Just keep saying no, reread, no, reread. Don't say anything else, because they really need to learn in this particular moment and many other moments in the curriculum. They really have to learn that if they don't read, they are not going to get help from us. They have to fix this habit of not reading questions, because if they don't read on the test, we're not there to help them. And that's it, right? So, questions about this, let me know, and I'll see you in class.